There's no way. I thought I had locked myself in there.
I'm locked out.
I'm locked out. All right, boys. All right. Get on the...
He's giving
He's
82
thinking
love.
yeah. He's
This
thinking
guy
for
does an
that
outstanding
downfield
job.
blocking.
1, 2, 3 collision.
that looks pretty good, boys. What do you think?
Hell yeah.
All right, get
Dude,
the
I
chat
love this
going.
backdrop, man.
Yeah, this might need to be our new backdrop for real. This is sick. All right, try to share this real quick.
I'm gonna find the.
All right, let's do this shit. Get the agenda pulled up.
Fogging up my glasses. Gotta calm down.
All right, awesome, boys. Everybody have a beer? Where's my beer? Is that your beer?
That's your beer.
Not drinking?
No.
Oh, brother. You have to do imaginary beer now. It's too late.
I gotta work.
Get this
All right.
man a tea or a cola or something.
I know. Where's your drink?
I finished it. I threw it away.
All right. Do a fake cheers.
Got it.
All right, boys. Appreciate y'all jumping in today.
Yeah, man.
Got a special new episode for Happy Hour Sports. We're gonna be calling it the Prowler Hour.
Prowler hour.
I like it. We're here at Strings Brewery in Jack's Beach. Everybody's been very patient. We had little technical difficulties like usual. Really wouldn't be a podcast here if it wouldn't be. So, quick
That's true.
cheers.
Cheers,
brother. Fake cheers. You already
Yeah,
drank
cheers.
yours. And
Cheers to good health.
all right, awesome guys. So let's start off. How we feeling about the Seahawks game?
I mean, you look back at the whole week here. You know, like a week ago we were on cloud 9. This is the NFL. This is part of it. You know,
Yeah.
you knew the Seahawks were going to come in and play hard. Tampa Bay got them at the end last week. It's just one of those things to where, you know, we just didn't make enough plays to win a football game.
Yeah, I agree.
It was definitely a big reality check. You know, that's a good passing attack they've got there. Jackson Smith and Jigba is a certified star at wide receiver.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, it's a reality check, but the season's not over. We'll be all right. Losing sucks, but we're on to, well, I was going to say we're on to Los Angeles, but we're on to London.
Yeah, we're on to London. Big trip for the boys, going across the pond. But yeah, real just instant reaction for me. Very disappointed.
Yeah.
5-1 feels a lot better than 4-2.
So
and
much.
4-2 should feel great. 4-2
It
should.
should.
If you told any Jags fan you're gonna be 4-2, you're gonna beat San Fran, you're gonna beat Houston at home, and you're gonna beat the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football, you would have took that in a heartbeat.
Your worst you're thinking is you're 3-3, and you're still doing pretty good.
Here, buddy. Here, pull this up to your mouth real quick.
To match the win total that you had from the year before already. So
Yeah.
That's a great point.
So if anybody, going into the season said that, I would have been ecstatic. So I think we're good. What was the biggest issue that you guys had going into the game? Like coming out of the game, what was your biggest takeaway that you had?
Well, it comes down to two things for me always: is blocking and tackling.
Yeah.
And we didn't block a soul, and we didn't get any sacks. And if you're going to beat a passing team, you got to find a way to put them on the ground. We had 1 sack in the game. They had 7. That's the difference right there.
Yeah.
We didn't turn the ball over. They didn't turn the ball over, so you can't put that on anybody. Would have loved to score more points in the special teams, but that guy's not going to be perfect every week.
Absolutely. The O-line play just jumped out at you, just jumped off the screen. The O-line was clearly struggling from the beginning of the game, and I don't know, is it just because Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams are incredible?
I think so.
or-
I look back at the tape. Leonard Williams,
They're
was
good.
Whoever he
They're
was
good.
over. I mean, I mean, we'll get into it,
But
but
man,
he wrecked
Lawrence
the game.
played really well.
Yeah.
You know, they gamed us up, they schemed us up. Coach
Yeah.
Cohen talked about that their stunts were a problem for us.
Yeah.
That can't happen in week 6. You know, that can't happen.
I think it was the first time this season, honestly, I hate to say this, but I think it was the first time this season we got out-coached. Because I think Liam Cohen's a great coach, but they were reading our screens, they handled the O-line, they beat us deep on that touchdown. Cohen's I think he's a fantastic coach, and I think we're off to a great start with him, but I do think that we got out-coached this week, which, you know, is going to happen sometimes.
I don't know if it's necessarily out-coached. I think they just played the scheme. They played Tampa Bay the week
There you
before.
go.
They
And-
knew kind of what to expect. I think
Okay.
they manhandled
That's fair.
us front, which was the biggest issue. So
Yeah.
let's go to a positive note
Yeah.
real quick. We usually give out a game ball. So first game ball that you want to give out to, we'll start with Schmitty.
I got to go with Trevor. I got to go with my guy. I got to go with the quarterback. It got ugly at times, you know, and he was under pressure, every single snap, but he made some good throws. He didn't throw an interception, you know. I mean, he was a big part of the reason that we were in it up until the last 2.5 minutes.
That's a controversial take because if you go on Twitter, everybody's saying Trevor was the reason they lost.
There's some crazy people out there that are they're saying the ship has sailed on Trevor, and that's ridiculous. I get it. He's not living up to some people's expectations because their expectations were that he's the next Peyton Manning, John Elway. He's not that, but he's still the best quarterback we've had since Mark Brunell.
Yeah.
Right? And I can say that all day. Very confidently.
I had Trevor throwing for over 300 yards easily in this game. I told people to hammer the 350 because of what I thought they would do to their secondary.
Well,
I
hey,
do
if
remember
that
that
Brian
tweet.
Thomas
I
Jr.
do remember that tweet.
Yeah. If the Brian Thomas Jr. 50-yard touchdown didn't get taken back, he would have been up there.
He's at
Over
320.
He would have been over 320 yards
There you
and
go.
3 touchdowns, 0 picks. I think the biggest thing for me, because I also had Trevor getting the game ball.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that I saw from him is if you look back and watch the film, the O-line's giving up. I don't know. They're giving it up to everybody that's coming across. And on top of that, the receivers really weren't even getting open. So now the line's not blocking. Now your receivers aren't getting open. And Trevor's still making plays.
Yeah.
Now, we usually going into this game or this season, we're like, hey, we don't need you to play hero ball. We need you to stay within the system. This game dictated where he actually had to play hero ball. And I thought he made some really big plays. The last touchdown to Tim Patrick, you know, he made a move.
That's the perfect
He
example
was a
of him
good playmaker.
actually stepping up. you know?
Yeah.
Throwing a ball, giving somebody a chance to make a play.
Absolutely.
He had that cross body, which didn't.
Yeah.
On 4th and 5, but he needed to do something, and
You know.
he hit the guy going cross body on 4th down. So that'd be mine. But what about
All right.
you?
Well, you guys went offense, so I'm going to go defense. And Foye Ulakan
Yeah,
was
he's
outstanding.
all over.
And he was another reason why we were in the football game. You know, it's really hard to look at a defense and pick one person.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think him and Ventrell Miller, you know, unfortunately, Lloyd got hurt.
Yeah.
Ventrell came in and played well. Foye is, you know, and has been a tackling machine
He's
for us.
outstanding.
And
I love Foye.
his
a boss,
communication, his ability to get us out in and out of stuff. You know, if you take away the 2 big plays on defense, they were outstanding the whole day.
Yeah.
And, you know, it sucks to give up the big touchdown. They had one methodical drive on us the whole game. They
point.
stopped them, called the field goal, you know, caused them to kick a field goal. They got a longer field goal at the end of the half. Like, I felt like the defense did everything they could do to give our offense a chance to win the game.
Yeah.
They had 3 chances to tie it. Like, what more can you ask?
Cam Little maybe to kick
You know,
a field goal.
and that changes the possession piece there at the end if he makes his field goal and he makes the extra point. Now, 2 of those possessions were kicking field goal. Maybe we're in the driver's seat and go ahead and win the game.
Yeah.
So,
Well, let's stay on the positive note for now. We'll get to kind of what went wrong in the game, but let's go to we do a segment. It's called 3 Up, 3 Down. So we'll start with your first player up that had a good game and their stock's going up. So who's your first, other than Trevor? Who's your the next player that you had stock up?
Stock up? I mean, well, Foye is obviously another good one, but his stock is always up, right? Like,
Yeah.
His stock has been up since we signed
I think
him.
he's a day
Yeah.
one buy. I think he's easy stock to buy.
That's
Yeah.
true. So maybe he shouldn't count either. But bro, I like the Tim Patrick touchdown. I like to see Tim Patrick getting balls, so I'm gonna throw him in there.
Yeah.
I liked again Travis Hunter juking the socks off of somebody, man.
Yeah.
Get him in the open field. I love that, and I love Parker Washington, man. I think he had
a big play.
Yeah, he had some good catches. I mean, honestly, I can give you a lot of ups, but I'm gonna stick with those three.
Yeah, those are good ones. I think there's an obvious one we're not talking about because of the drop late in the game, but BTJ had a
Yes.
great game.
And
You're
he was
right.
my number
You're
one.
right. You're
He's
right.
my first guy up. You know, a lot of people don't talk about this or they haven't publicized it enough. You know, his teammate died in the offseason. That's one of his best friends.
Right.
And my man was struggling.
Lacey. Yep.
And he finally,
That's-
that court case and those types of things, that stuff kind of went the Lacey family way. And you saw BTJ kind of look like the guy that we all fell in love with last year,
Yeah.
going up and down the field making great plays. Yes.
Yeah.
Do we want him to drop the ball? Absolutely not. Does he want to drop the ball? No way.
Yeah.
But he played like the guy that we thought was going to be the number one receiver
He
for the
had those
Jacksonville
moments
Jaguars.
where it was just like so impressive.
And
And,
then
that's such a good point because I feel like in my mind I hold him to such a high standard
Yeah.
that
Because he
you
did
know,
it. He did it every week.
It's all about
Exactly.
it's all
Right.
about expectations. Yeah,
we know how good he can
Yeah.
be. You know,
yeah, he's a top 5 wide receiver when he's on.
and when he's on,
so-
man, he's
And the Trevor injury last year, I think the new offense, like it's going to take time. You know, it would be awesome if they'd come out on day one clicking and he's going to catch 115 balls for
Right.
1,700 yards.
Right.
You know, all of those kind of things that we all know and want. But right now, you're seeing two guys developing together, learning an offense. And when they start figuring it out and our coaches catch up to the deal and we start picking people apart, we're going to be on our feet a lot.
Yeah, I think going into the season, to be just kind of straying off, but we'll get back to the top 3. But the big thing going into the season, we were saying, hey, it's going to be a little bit shaky the first half of the season. It's another system for Trevor Lawrence. It's another system for this offense. So it's going to take some time. So it's been a little clunky, but it's mostly penalties and drops are the
Right.
biggest
Yeah.
issue.
Yep.
You know, they'll make a big
Lead the
play,
league
they'll
in
bring
both.
it back.
Yeah.
They'll, so that's really what it comes down to. But yeah, so I have BTJ as my stock up. My next stock up, kind of outside the box here, but Buster Brown, I thought
Dude.
had a good game.
yeah, that's absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
love that.
Another
I love
big
that
pass
for him.
breakup.
You know, he was kind of struggling early on in the year with an injury and trying to get on the field.
Yeah.
And he's had 2 weeks in a row where he's made plays
Yeah.
in our secondary. And that's only going to be good for the Jags in the long run.
Yeah, I think Buster Brown had a great game. I think he gave up one bad play to JSN on the this out route where he got fooled. But to
Right.
be honest, he made 2
But-
great plays on the ball. I think it was
Yeah.
almost back to back.
Yes.
Late in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a, he had a
Tyson-
true deflection, and then he had a poke away as the guy was about to catch the ball.
Exactly, and that's what Tyson out. Unfortunately, Greg Newsome's first
mean-
play, but I'm
again,
gonna save that one.
JSN
We'll get to it.
JSN
I firmly believe after hearing Coach Cohen in the press conference today, quarters mix up, had somebody bite and come down, those
Yeah.
types of things. Scheme matters. Our scheme is good, but you still got to execute. And
Yeah.
right there, you saw somebody thinking he was going to have help, and he didn't have help.
Yeah.
His positioning got us burnt.
Yeah, so I would say Buster Brown, BT, Buster Brown, and then I had Foye. It's kind of a mix. I thought a lot of these guys played really well, not outstanding, but just had a really good contributions. Thought ETN played really well, even though a lot of his yards actually came back due to penalties.
Yeah, right.
But I thought he catching the ball out of the backfield, run the ball hard. I thought he looked good. Thought two in the same way on a lesser extent. He didn't get as many carries, but the ones he did, thought he looked well. He looked great. Parker had a nice couple plays, and then Foye. So. What's your top three?
So I had BTJ was my number one. I felt like he was the number one wide receiver that we want, that we believe he is, and Trevor not having Brenton Strange, he was the security blanket.
Yeah.
You could feel it that
Right.
they were
felt
trying
his
to do
absence.
something to get BTJ the ball a little differently than they've done throughout the first 5 games.
Which I think is good.
100%.
Change it up, yeah.
The next guy for me was Ventrell Miller.
Yeah, Trell
Lloyd
plays
has
well.
played so well for us that Ventrell Miller couldn't get on the field.
right.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
And
Yeah.
he played a ton for us last year and
Yeah.
played well.
Yeah.
So I feel like how he stepped in and played, and the defense didn't slack with him on the field. They didn't find him or they didn't scheme him and have something to where we knew he was a liability in coverage last year. Same thing we said about Lloyd in
Right.
a lot of circles.
Yeah.
Right.
But Ventrell played really well in the second half, and now we know that he's going to play the whole game in London because Lloyd's not making the trip.
Right.
I think Trell too. The other thing too is I think he's one of the biggest hitters on the team. I mean, him and Trayvon maybe, but I think Ventrell is always making a play on special teams. You see him, popping somebody in kickoff, and then on top of that, I think who's the other? Who else did you say? Lloyd in coverage. Yeah, so I think playing him more. This team's got a lot of depth. I'm not really worried about it.
I'm comfortable with him playing, but I feel like Lloyd has been such a presence that people, especially like he's made plays, interceptions, fumble recoveries, but he's also been outstanding in the run. He's a part of the pass rush package, and so when he's not in there, that puts a big hole and a big responsibility on the rest of the defense.
Right.
The other guy for me is Eric Armstead. We dogged this dude all last year because he wasn't making plays and he wasn't doing this.
Yeah.
He's moved back to where he belongs inside, and he has played well.
Yeah.
Now, can we play better as a unit? Can he play better? I'm sure he would tell you that in a heartbeat. But that sack he had was the only one we had yesterday. And I felt like he tried to push the pocket and do the things that we're asking him to do. We got to have those other guys step up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we'll touch on the pass rush a little bit later too, but I think that's a good one to have. I think for Ventrell in the run game too. Just going back to real quick, I think the defense as a whole, they gave up some big plays. However, in the run game,
they were absolutely stout.
They were flying around.
Against Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet, two really solid running backs.
And a team that knows how to run the ball.
Yes.
And any guy with the last name Kubiak knows how to run the ball.
Yeah.
That left side
And there's a few of them out there, apparently.
That left side of the line for Seattle is pretty good. So let's talk about maybe some players that didn't have as good of a game. Who's your first player that's stocked down?
Oh, man. I hate to say it because I've defended this guy so many times, but Walker Little, man. Walker Little had some moments where it was clear he got beat. It shouldn't. Most people, it's not going to jump off the screen when the left tackle gets beat, right? But there was more than one time, I think. And I'm not saying I'm out on Walker Little. Oh, my God, I can't believe we extended him. All that drama you see on Twitter. He's a good left tackle. He just didn't have a great game. And it's that simple, And it was a bummer because it led to. They're not all 7 sacks are on him, but there's a few of them. I don't have the exact count. There's a few of them on him. I just know he can play way better than what we saw on Sunday.
Yeah, I think the whole offensive line. I mean,
you can say the whole.
Say the whole offensive line really didn't do the job. A lot of people I heard saying. Probably didn't watch the game, but we're kind of shitting on Jonah Monheim. I thought he played the best out of all of them.
Hey, for a 7th-round rookie, I mean, right? 7th-round pick, right?
So PFF and a couple other people said that he gave up 3 or 4 pressures, depending on who you want to look at.
Right.
I don't think he played bad. I just think he played like a rookie.
Exactly.
He needs more reps. He needs to get out there and play. Right. Those types of pieces, when he gets out there and gets comfortable, he's going to be an asset. You play at USC, you play O-line at USC, the guy that's in charge of our club is going to make sure that you're somebody worth being here. He's not going to take you or put you up in the draft or talk about you if he doesn't believe that you're going to be a dog.
He's our future center. I'm not really worried about 100%. Jonah at all.
Sure.
So I would say keep the trend alive. So you said Walker Little. I think McCarry really struggled in this game. I think if you look at the tape, they had Seattle was running these tackle end stunts that were absolutely killing both sides of the line, and McCarry had a hard time handling. They had either Byron Murphy or Leonard Williams on him the whole game, and he gave up a lot of big plays, in my opinion. And on the stunts, that's really where they got killed. That's
a tough road to hoe. If you got to block Leonard Williams all night, it's going to be a long night. Hats off to the Daytona Beach mainland kid coming back to the state of Florida and getting a wreck shop. Unfortunately, it was against us, the Jaguars. But I'm going to look at that a different way. Like, I agree with you. The pieces of the O-line, without your starting center, the communication goes away.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, and you look at it from a different perspective of when that guy's in the game, how well we have played as a unit.
Right.
Absolutely.
There you understand it a little bit different. When Robert Haynes is in the game, the O-line's better.
Yeah.
Because the calls are getting out. He knows the offense better than maybe anybody on our team.
Yep.
Because he's been with Liam before and at another place. So he knows how to communicate maybe what other people don't. And so I'm not going to say that Walker Little shouldn't, maybe work a little harder this week in practice or whatever. You know, I'm pretty sure he didn't like the way he played either.
Of course.
But the center is a huge part of the deal, and when you put a rookie in there, there's a lot of pieces that were probably missed or just not communicated because he doesn't know how to say those things the way that
that's a
does.
great point. I think Robert Hainsey's been the unsung hero of the team so far this year,
without a doubt.
I think that's very fair.
But who is your down though?
So for me, my down was Newsome off the bat. You know, your first
even
play,
though you think it was on the safety,
Hunter, busted coverage. You got to find a way, do something, get a penalty. Don't let the guy go to the house. The other side of that coin is, I think we saw maybe the best wide receiver in football right now.
Top 5 at least.
And you know,
at least
he torched us all day.
He's a smooth
long.
route runner, man. JSN is a smooth route runner. He's fast. He's got great hands.
Yeah,
he's good.
You know, Greg Newsome gets the hard luck downer because you know he gets traded in the middle of the week,
Welcome
and we
to
throw him out
Cover
there.
the
bro.
best guy we're
Good
gonna
luck.
play all year.
Thanks, good luck, Six. Good luck.
I said
Jamar Chase,
once we got him, I was talking to some Browns fans over Twitter, and I was like, you know what? Like, I was telling them like the good things about Tyson, bad things. I was like, listen, as long as Greg Newsome doesn't give up a 30-yard play, I'm cool with him. And the very first snap he's in, he gives up a 50-yard touchdown or whatever it was. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Is Tyson still here? Is Tyson still here?
I was like, well, at least we got a couple pick out of it or something.
If it makes you feel any better, Tyson gave up a touchdown.
Yeah, I
as
saw
well.
that.
I know, right?
So it's hard to cover in the league.
Give and take.
It's hard to say if
100%.
we won that trade or not.
Yeah.
I don't think we're not going to be able to determine that for a while.
Personally, and we'll get to it in a little bit, I think having him out there, I mean, he really didn't play that much.
Not
but
a lot.
I think Travis and Monteric Brown need to be out there full time. I'm not really sure where Jarian's at. I thought he would play a little bit better and get on the field.
He had a great rookie season.
I think, unfortunately, in the experiment with him of letting him be an outside player, he hasn't shown the success of being the nickel, and you know, our nickel right now is playing really well.
You're not going to bump Jordan,
So
and also, Jarian's better in man. Right?
And we play a lot of
Right.
zone.
That's true too.
So those are pieces, you know, that I know we talked about this before we went on the air. You know, for me, Travis Hunter should start on defense.
Yes.
Play every snap on defense.
too.
And we
Absolutely
should package
agree.
him on offense and find a way
It's my
to
guy.
create for him.
I knew this guy was smart. I knew he was smart. I've been saying it since the beginning of the season.
There's like 3 people that believe you. So
Well, here's the flip side of that coin. I would say he should play every snap on defense and as much as possible on offense, because you've seen him when he gets in the game, how explosive. He's making a flash play, 1 or 2 a game, and can you
Get him in
imagine
the open
going
field,
in all
man.
the time. So we'll get to Travis in a minute, but let's keep it on the down. So who's your second down of the game?
Second down. Well, I mean, I was going to go with Macari as well.
Okay.
Or, I mean, like you could say, you could pick almost any member of the offensive line, except for I think Anton had a decent game.
Yeah.
the penalties.
He had some penalties too, didn't he?
You know,
Yeah.
Cleveland had a couple holds. You know, like the group did not function well together.
And they've been playing
Yeah.
good all
And
season.
they have.
Which that's the part I didn't see.
And-
I thought Trevor would throw for 350 because I thought he had time.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the issue. I thought they'd be able to take care of the secondary that was banged up. I mean, that Seattle team's going to be
They're
a hell
good.
of a team
They're
going
good.
down the
Yeah.
year.
You know, I did the math today. You know, our first 6 games were 12 games over 500 last year.
Right.
Total. 2 division winners, AFC champions, those kind of things. Like the Seahawks didn't make the playoffs and they won 10 games last year.
right.
That's crazy.
So, you know, I feel like the murderer's row part of our schedule is about to end.
right.
Yeah.
And so whether we're 5-3, or 5-2 or 4-3, we're out of the woods. We're about to turn the corner either way.
Right.
Because then we go bye week and then Raiders.
Right.
Which
You know,
haven't
traveling
looked
out
good.
west.
And then who do we have after that?
Arizona or something.
Arizona hasn't looked great.
And then I think the first Titans game, first Colts, then we go to Denver.
Yeah,
And
that'll be
so-
it. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, as far as second down, player that's stocked down for me personally, I think it's going to shock a couple people, but it's definitely Josh Hines Allen.
That's fair, too.
He was my third, so
Josh Hines
we're on
Allen,
the same page.
I saw the stat somebody put out today of how many pressures we got, and our pass rush sucked the whole game. I mean, you could say Armstead, but really, we got no pressure the last 2 games. And
he was the
guy,
standout. Like,
the one guy that you need to perform well, and he's been balling in the first couple of games here, but he just hasn't shown up the last
no
2,
right.
is Josh. And the issue with him is I saw him getting blocked by tight ends.
Yeah.
They put a tight end on him, and then
right?
he got blocked. He had 0 pressures in that game, and he needed to stand out. Now, Trayvon's back.
Right.
But
he only played
Trayvon
17
was limited.
snaps. He only played 17 snaps.
Yeah,
he was limited. He'll play, you would think, more against the Rams. But
I think he's getting comfortable. If you haven't ever been hurt or played with one arm and played the game, it's a little different. And so, if you're always lining up on the left and you're used to putting both hands on the ground, he's got to simulate the whole deal again for himself.
Yeah.
And he was finally figuring it out and being a force. You had a 9 straight, 1 sack in 9 straight games or 8 straight games or whatever it was.
Right.
So we definitely missed him, and it was very evident in the Chiefs game that we missed him.
But that's what I'm saying. When you have a player, I mean, maybe you could double Josh Hines Allen, but in this game, I thought, is it Cross? I think from Seattle. I thought he handled Josh, and even when he went on the opposite side. Like, he didn't get any pressure at all. So that would be my second stock down. What's your second stock down?
Cam Little.
Okay.
This is a guy
that to him.
Unfortunately,
and I love Cam. That's the bitch of it.
I don't think it's pressure or it's its own pressure. He's created his own deal, and
it's hard to get out of that.
Kickers are their own entity. They're like left-handed pitchers. They do their own thing. Like and you got to be okay with it. You got to give them the opportunity. And Coach said that in his press conference today. He's like, hey, we got all the confidence in the world. You don't go from making a 70-yard field goal and every time you kick a 50, it looks like it's good from 65.
Yeah.
He's in his own head. Hopefully he'll iron that thing out. He'll get it figured out, and he'll become the weapon we need him to be.
Yeah. I agree. I think Cam Little, this is a blip on. I think if you look at the rest of his career or the rest of the season at least, I think it's going to just be a blip. I think the kid's great. He has distance, and is it possible though that some of these guys that are great from long distance, they do struggle when they can't put their whole leg into it? Is that part of it?
I mean, the follow through, the finish, all those kind of things are part of the deal. I also think he got the jinx. Everybody was on him and talked about how he hadn't missed an extra point.
Right.
You keep putting that thing out there. He's going to see it. He's going to read it. Somebody's going to say something to him.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he missed an extra point.
So that's a good one. So what's your final stock down?
Oh man, another guy that I love, but I think I'd have to go with Dewey Wingard. Andrew Wingard he's been so
always
solid
the Jags,
for us.
but it was not Dewey on Sunday.
And I don't know the details of the long touchdown. I know he was there and maybe bid on a play action, or maybe it wasn't his assignment.
Yeah.
And then we see the other long touchdown, or not even touchdown, the other long pass play to the tight end.
Yep,
and
that
he's
finished the game.
chasing him down. Yeah, that basically put the game away. It's tough to criticize them when you don't know the exact details of their coverage assignment and everything.
Yeah.
But when you see him in the play getting beat, it's hard to not think like, come on, man, like I know you're better than that. I've seen you make these incredible plays.
Yeah.
And that's the consistent thing, I think, for all my criticisms, is that I just know what these players are capable of. Mm-hmm. And of all of my critiques, none of these players played to the top of their potential this week.
Right.
Which is obviously hard to do every single week in and out. But Dewey's capable of being a lot better than that. And so I guess I'd have to go with that for my third stock down.
That was my third too.
Yeah.
I thought Dewey.
Yeah.
I as much as I love him and as much as how proud I am of him playing, stepping up this year.
Sticking around all these years,
sticking
man.
around. He's been special team, third safety forever.
Yep.
He's playing great this season in the run, in the pass. The issue that I have is the 2 biggest plays in the game came against Andrew Wingard.
Right in his face,
So
right?
against the JSN, you could say Newsome, but he's brand new to the team. Where they're playing quarters, it should be on Dewey. He bid on the play action.
He came up on the dig route, and something in front of his face got excited. Got to stay in coverage.
And then from there, like you said, the last play of the game where the defense was kind of keeping us in it, and we needed one more stop, and maybe you could put that on the offense. And we'll talk about the offense in a little bit. But
some no-name tight end takes it for how many yards?
61.
61.
61, yeah.
It's rough.
But yeah,
And
so
that pretty much
I would
iced
say
the
Dewey.
game.
Yeah, exactly.
What would be your last one?
So you already said him. He was your second. He was your second.
Josh
Yeah.
Hines Allen?
Yeah, so, you know, he's our captain. He's our defensive leader.
Yeah.
He's got to be disruptive.
He's gotta have
He's
moments.
got to find a way to disrupt or create something for momentum, for our defense, for our offense,
Yeah.
When you
to
need
have
it.
an extra chance.
It's
right.
not going to be
when
every
it's,
single play.
When
you
it's
need
3rd
it.
and 9 and it's time to,
Yeah.
to get on our feet and get loud and do all the things that the bank does, we need Josh Hines Allen to be the guy that's
Yeah.
chasing somebody down and making the big play. And it hasn't happened. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
I think that you're seeing how the defense is scheming and how we are doing and getting free rushers, which I felt like we did not do a year ago. So the defensive part of it's working. Maybe as it continues to grow and formulate, Josh Hines Allen will be the benefactor of a clean run because of the blitzes that we've done in the past.
Hey, we can hope.
So
I hope so.
that's what we need. It'd be nice for 41 to come loose and finally get his name at the top of the list where he belongs.
Yes.
And I feel
Right.
like that.
We've all been waiting for this.
Like this poor guy's 6 games in and it's not
Yeah.
done yet. Like
Yeah.
we thought week 2, week 3 maybe.
Yeah.
He's
You
gonna
can
get
get it all done in one game almost.
Right. And so
But yeah, I mean, it's hard to put it on him. I just find myself throughout the whole game saying, "Where's Josh Hines Allen?"
Yeah.
The whole game. So, but not to harp on him too much. Let's talk a little bit. Let's kind of get off of the negative.
Right.
Let's kind of talk more about, I'd say, maybe positive. Depending on how you look at it. There's a lot of people that have been kind of shitting on Trevor's performance. What do you think? We talked about it a little bit, but let's kind of like go further in it. How do you think Trevor played throughout the whole game?
I was fortunate to get to watch it again last night, and I thought after watching it again, he played better than I thought he did originally, and I didn't
Me
think he
too.
played bad.
Me too.
Yeah.
You watch the all 22 cut, and you get to see some stuff from a different angle. You get to see the tight copy from the end zone shot, and you kind of get to see what he saw. And you see all these flashing Seahawks running around.
Yeah.
And, 3 guys are blocking 2 guys are running free, 1 guy's running free, and he's scrambling and making a throw
Yeah.
into a tight window. I don't know what our fans want more from Trevor. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
some of the other guys in Jacksonville have talked about this. They call it the Trevor Lawrence experience. And
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
heard
yeah.
it, I was like, oh, this is
Just
brilliant.
so
That's
up and
exactly
down.
correct.
Yeah.
It's 3 plays that dazzle you, like at the
Yeah.
end at Kansas City, where you were like, oh my God, this is why he was the number 1 pick. This is why he was labeled the franchise from day 1.
Yeah.
And then you watch him miss a wide open receiver by 6 feet, and you're like, dude,
What the hell was
come on,
that?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, and I've told other people this, and I think he's going to end up being between Peyton and John Elway. Somewhere in between that. It's just
how do
not.
you mean?
So, like, John Elway almost got
Do
traded.
you mean in style of play?
No,
or do
no.
you
So,
mean
like, success.
Really?
So, yes. So, Peyton Manning was anointed from day 1 that he was
Okay.
going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Right.
John Elway was the super athlete. Like, he's going to be the greatest quarterback ever because he was so athletically gifted.
Right.
Trevor's in between those guys.
Okay.
They almost traded John Elway twice before he ever went to a Super Bowl.
Right.
So, like, is John Elway in the top 5 of the greatest quarterbacks all time? Maybe 10 years ago he was.
Right.
I'm not saying
At
Trevor's
one
going
point
to be.
he definitely was.
He was in the conversation
Yeah.
for sure. I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is going to be the greatest quarterback of all time. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
What I am saying is he's had 4 head coaches. He's had 4 different offenses. He's finally got somebody that's in his age bracket
Yep.
that has answers.
Yep.
He's got a front office that's trying to do everything they can for him. And the other thing that he has that we are going to take for granted here very soon is he's got a contract extension, which hasn't even started yet.
Yeah,
It starts at
exactly.
the end of this season, and people want to talk about, he's making $55 million. No, he's not.
Not yet, he's not,
He's
yeah.
making 16. Like, and don't get me wrong, that's a ton of money, and I'm sure the people sitting here would love to make $16 million.
100%.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get hit 31 times or whatever it was that he got
Right.
hit this week.
Right.
So the toughness thing, I think Trevor we can never doubt his toughness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The intelligence is growing right in front of us. And if you know anything
Yes.
about football and you're watching it, he had no turnovers. He did not force any throws that I could see. Yet, the BTJ one is up for debate, but BTJ made the play on the ball. Tim Patrick made a play on the ball.
Yep.
So as he gets more comfortable with these weapons in this offense, it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
And so
Absolutely.
we need to chill out and let it happen.
I
I
agree.
100% agree.
I agree.
100% agree.
I think the issue too you run into is with Trevor, and honestly, we talked about it on before. With Travis Hunter has the same issue. When you label these guys generational talents,
Unicorn.
you have this
Your
expectation
expectations are-
that
yeah.
are through the roof. So if they're not exceeding, he's not on par with playing like Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen
Yeah.
right out the gate.
Well-
if Travis Hunter is in somehow Justin Jefferson and
Patrick
Deion.
Surtain at the same time.
Deion Sanders all at once. Oh, this guy's a bust. It's like, no, it's like you have to give him a little bit of grace.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think it's split locally, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think we all want the superstar. Like, we
Yeah.
haven't had a superstar in Jacksonville
Yeah.
since Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yeah. Right.
Let's just be honest and call a spade
Yeah.
a spade.
Right.
When they drafted Trevor, the intent and the belief was, man, he's going to be the guy. He is going to be marketed. He's going to be loved.
Right.
It's
The
happened.
wow factor.
And,
every
and the wow factor hasn't happened.
Right.
The wins, debatable.
Yeah.
Too good, too bad, one full of injury. Where 8-3 gets hurt and we
Yeah.
limp to the finish line.
Yeah.
This year, you're seeing a guy kind of mature all the way around. He's a dad now. He's got a lot of good things going on in his life. And I think he's finally got the coach that has challenged him in the right way.
Yes.
And we saw it on the sideline. We saw it in the Cincinnati game where they're both pissed off.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if you're not a competitor and you don't get pissed off, I don't want you to play for us.
Of course.
This is what I was saying about Trevor Lawrence. Like, he needs to play with an edge this year.
And
And
I've
the
seen a
Chiefs-
little bit
and
more
you've
of
seen
it.
a little bit
A
coming
bit
out.
more.
A little
Chiefs
bit
game
coming
out.
out.
He was a
ripping
dog.
his
Yeah.
He was a
buckles
dog
off.
against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And he will tell you, I can't throw interceptions. He was the first one to say that can't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? The rest of the game, you take that interception away. My man played good. You take the fumble away down on the goal line. You can't fault him for that because he's had success doing that.
Right.
Like,
Right.
That's part of his deal.
Yeah.
And I think for Trevor too is you have to find a way for him to play fast. And for me, forever, since I've been watching him, is why aren't we going no huddle?
Yeah.
And one
He's-
thing that I will give Liam Cohen a little bit of credit for is he's going more up tempo
Yeah.
than anybody else before. But in the past, if you looked at any success with Trevor's had, it's going up tempo, going no huddle,
Yeah.
high school, college,
Yeah.
2022, all
Yeah.
those comebacks. Why
Yeah.
did he have success?
Because he was
playing
tempo.
free.
He was
He's
calling
playing-
his own plays.
Calling his plays. He
You know,
knew
so-
exactly what he was going to exactly
I think
what
you've
his
seen
audible
Coach
was gonna
Cohen trying
be.
to do those things for him. I call it first down fun. We get a first down, we're going to line up and go again.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think that they're trying to do that and trying to play fast. It's only going to get better. And that's the thing, You talk about install, you talk about he took everybody to the Bahamas and it's going to get better. It's just not going to be perfect. And if it was perfect on day one,
It
how
might
do you
not
get
ever be
better?
perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we're ascending, and that's the piece that people need to really start to understand is that we're headed in the right direction.
I
Absolutely.
agree. I think
And-
this is just a not even a step down. This is just a pause on the
just a
success
little bit of a
on what
reality
we've
check.
been
The
doing.
Like,
NFL,
the
man,
NFL is
it's
hard.
hard to win
Yeah.
every week.
And
Ask the
Especially when you
Chiefs.
got a D line like the Seahawks have, and you got JSN.
So,
I
and,
think
you
most people, if
no
you
excuse, but still, I'm not that upset. Like
Yeah.
losing sucks, and the taste in our mouth sucks. But we are.
Have we played
far
a
from
bad
over.
quarterback yet? No,
No,
we haven't.
We haven't played.
And
against
we're
them.
not going to play a bad one this
somehow
week
Jake
either.
Browning is our freaking
Like,
kryptonite.
yeah.
But
Jake Browning salivates when he sees the Jaguars.
I
on
know,
the-
I
on
know.
it. He's
For
like,
some reason.
Joe, take the week off. I got you, bro. I got
Yeah.
you. Don't worry.
it's
The Jags, I got them.
He'll go play the worst defense in the league the next week and just
Be
throw a bunch of
awful.
interceptions.
They traded for Flacco.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
come
gonna
on
go
now.
get 40-year-old Flacco, but for some reason he looks like Joe Burrow himself against
Yeah.
us.
He scorched us.
That's
and
the
he's
NFL
done it
for you.
He's
That's
done it
the
twice.
NFL.
So let's keep it on the offense for a second.
Yeah.
What are we going to do about these penalties? It's week 6. We can't find out how to line up.
It's a great question for Liam Cohen. How do you reduce
Well,
the penalties?
I think what we were talking about the hurry up offense and
Yeah.
getting guys to set and go and play quick. I think he's trying to do that, and he said that in his press conference that he was trying to do it too.
And if that helps, awesome.
And I think it eliminates some, but there's still a lot of issues where, and I think, to be honest with you, the Anton calls, I look back at it, those are ticky-tack calls.
Yeah.
And I looked at the Travis Hunter call. Now, I'm going to clip this after, and I'll go back and I'll post it on Twitter. It's hilarious. Do you guys know what happened? Did you guys watch?
He asked if he was on.
Listen to this.
He asked if he's on, thumbs up the guy. He gets a thumbs up in return and then leans.
No.
That's not what happened.
That's not what happened.
I thought that was.
That's what I thought.
You want to know where you're missing it?
Absolutely.
The ref is a yard or half a yard off the ball. The referee starts a half a yard upfield, and Travis Hunter comes up and he goes thumbs
back.
up, and the ref goes yep, and then the ref goes back. He goes, oh shit, I'm not in the right spot. The ref goes back, and he goes good, and then you see that's what they snap the ball, and the ref goes, and that same ref that
Throws
knew
the
he was
flag.
wroong goes
Throws the flag. So we take away a
I'm gonna clip it, and
touchdown.
I'm gonna put it on Twitter.
We
It's
take
the
away a
most
100-yard
unbelievable
receiving
thing.
day.
I can't believe
We
anybody's
take a
not done it yet.
300-yard passing day away, all because an official lined up wrong.
Why do NFL refs have to be so unserious? You know what I mean? Like, we see the dumbest things out of NFL refs.
But for me, how are you the one calling the penalty?
That's what I'm saying.
You told him he was okay.
Right.
You were in the wrong, and you throw the flag on him.
Did it have an
Can't you wave
effect?
that off?
Go back and watch it. I think we should be able to. I think the NFL really needs to rewrite some of these I don't know, rules, I guess, on challenges, because I think you should be able to challenge pass interference a whole. You like
There's
won a
been
game.
talk. They do
They
that
gotta do something.
every year. They have the rules committee meeting, and they go through that. And you're allowed. You need X amount of teams to petition for the same thing, or to want to explore what you're talking about. We want to add PI to a reviewable offense. And so all of those things, and what you run into is a lot like what baseball's dealing with the electric umpire or the automated umpire, is if you start adding and doing things, the time of the game is going to get longer. You're taking the human element out of it.
What's the difference of challenging any other play?
But they control how many challenges you get. So if you get a PI right, and then you can't, or you get a PI wrong, and you can't challenge something was going to win a game for you. They got to limit those kind of things for game flow and for the officiating purposes.
I mean, I guess
I'm not against it, but I'm just telling you, there's another side to that, where there's a lot of things that probably should be reviewable that they're not. Forward progress has been something they've talked about for eons.
I mean, look at the tush push. They're talking about taking that
Banning
out.
that.
But if you look at the last few that I've seen, I mean, I haven't watched a lot of Philadelphia, but I saw a few plays where they're flagrantly
it's a false start. Yeah.
And the
my problem
the
is not with the
collision
tush
piece.
push. My problem is with the false starts
too.
that come with it.
Me too.
The rugby scrum, the collision piece of it right there. It's all stuff that they're trying to control in special teams. Finally, the Eagles ran the ball to a running back out of the tush push formation a couple weeks ago, and it was finally like, how long did that take? To see somebody have a wrinkle to it.
So let's so we got on Trevor Lawrence, penalties. Last one, let's talk a little bit about Travis Hunter. So I think Travis Hunter, every week you can look at the snap counts and say, are they playing him enough? Is he making a big enough impact? For me personally, I think there's a minimum snap count, especially now that Tyson's gone. You need to play him 75 snaps a game. 45 on offense, 45 on defense. Now, if you have a matchup that you want to play more on one side of the ball or the other, fine. But that's a minimum. Is that realistic?
I think he can handle it. I think he can handle it.
He's playing 112 in college.
A vast majority of defensive snaps. If not all of them, a vast majority. I absolutely think he's one of our best covermen in general. Zone, man, doesn't matter. He's proven that he can keep up with Xavier Worthy. He's proven he can make the play on Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
I absolutely think he can handle it. And he's not going to be running a fly route every single snap on offense. He's not going to be taking the number one receiver deep every single snap on defense.
When they're playing zone, that helps them a ton, too.
Exactly. So the downside that everybody was worried about, it's like, oh, is he going to be winded if he goes deep with a receiver and then they put him on offense and he goes deep? Is he going to be able to keep up? That's easy to mitigate. That's an easy thing to avoid. He should absolutely be playing nearly 100% of the defensive snaps. I'm sure there's, short yardage, red zone, maybe they don't want him in there. But
you can spell him in different spots. But I just think I'm not really even worried about how they're playing him, as in like how they're utilizing him on offense or defense. It's more or less for me, it's they're not playing him enough.
Yeah.
And I know they're ramping up. They've been talking about ramping him up, but I think the Tyson Campbell, when they traded him, I said, oh, this is
Defense
I'd be
comes
shocked if it's
easier
not 75
to
to
him.
100
Yeah.
snaps a game.
I figured he was going to step in a lot more, and I just think on the defensive side it comes much easier to him, and on offense it's going to take a little bit more learning the playbook and everything like that, which he's already. I mean, look, we're 6 weeks in,
Right.
but I think he can naturally step in and be a playmaker on defense more significantly and faster on defense than offense.
Right.
Get the ball in his hands on offense. We've seen what he can do. It's amazing.
That's my point. You
But-
gotta get the ball to. You gotta. My going into the game. One of my keys to the game was feed Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
And it's get 10 catches for BT, 10 catches for Travis. There's no Bretton Strange. You have to make it a priority.
Yeah.
Now don't force the ball, but like he's one of your best playmakers on the field on both sides of the ball. But Coach Rip, what do you think?
For me, I said this from day one. He should start at corner and play every defensive snap.
Yeah.
And we should find a way to package him on offense to do the things that he excels at. If that's the deep crosser, then when that dude gets in the game, we all know it's coming. Who cares? You still got to stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that opens the
course.
fielder for BTJ. That opens the fielder for Brenton Strange when he's healthy. The pieces of the puzzle right now that you saw on Sunday is he's in the game, the screen game's coming. He's going to get a screen within X amount of plays when he's on the field.
Right.
You're going to see him get something in the crossing route / dig series or mesh stuff. He got one of those. Then he's going to get something on the outside where he gets a chance to make somebody miss.
Right.
I love that they put him in the backfield this week,
Yes.
and they did some
Yes.
stuff with him,
Swing
trying
out,
to get him
out of
in
the
the flat
backfield.
to give him a chance to make a play. It's coming. It's just not happening as fast as us as fans or
Right.
those types of things. It's going to work. It just is not working as fast as we all want.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
I agree with what you're saying, and I think if they started him full time on defense, and then I think now that it's all about Tyson Campbell. Tyson Campbell was, I thought, better in the run game. That's why that's why Travis wasn't playing. But we'll see what happens. I think just keep adding more and more snaps. He's kind of going fluctuating because he has 59 last week. He's played more snaps in other games.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it.
Schlereth was the announcer for the game, and
Yeah.
no offense to that guy, and I've never met him, but he's usually a Jags hater.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
he does
He
not
is.
talk nice about us.
Yeah,
And he
well,
was
you
on
know
that
why? 'Cause
Denver
he played
team that
for
we
the
beat.
Broncos
Whatever.
back in the day.
Sorry.
When we beat them.
But he talked about Travis Hunter, the blocker, and how well
Yeah.
he blocks on offense.
He did have a good
There is a
block,
toughness to Travis that I
Niners
didn't know
game,
about,
right?
that I didn't see when he was in college. I
Even
saw
on defense, though,
he'll stick his
he'll
nose
stick his
in
nose
there.
in
He's
there.
not scared.
Yeah.
And he's a wiry little dude.
Yeah, for a skinny dude.
But, and that's the next piece. They talk about, the rookies talk about this, not Travis Hunter, but everybody who goes through their rookie year. Because, he's a perfect example. He won the Heisman. He had to do all of the pub that goes with winning the Heisman.
Right.
He played in the bowl game, which everybody thought he was crazy for playing in the bowl game. Then he gets drafted number 2 overall. Well, then you got to go do all the pictures and you got to do all the stuff. Then he signs a contract with Adidas and he's doing an awesome commercial with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
He's got a drink commercial that they filmed at Bishop Kenny. You got all these things that he's doing on top of rookie camp, mini camp.
And he just had a baby too. Didn't
And
he?
he's got married.
He's got a baby.
And has got and has a baby happening and those kind of things. So you're
It's a lot.
seeing a maturation of a dude that went from being the king of college.
Yep.
And now he's a pros pro playing both sides of the ball, which he has already logged the most snaps of anybody who's played on both sides of the ball since the 60s or something.
Something
Yeah.
crazy.
So
Yeah.
we need to give the guy his pub. We need to pat him on the back.
Absolutely.
And we need to understand that it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
It's not going
I
to get
agree.
worse.
I worry least about Travis Hunter just
Yeah.
because I know the person he is, and I know he's going to develop. Next season, he'll have that 10 pounds more. He'll be even more explosive. He'll be even more physical. His routes will tighten up by the end of the
It'll
season.
be crisp
really,
because
So-
he's in it. He's been doing it. All of
Yeah.
those kind of things. On top of the fact, my man loves to fish. I think
Yeah.
we need to get Travis Hunter to take everybody fishing.
Yeah.
That should be the
I won't be
Jacksonville
surprised
thing.
if he does.
We need to
team
figure out
fishing
where he
trip or
goes
something.
and what the pieces are for that.
My man loves ball and he loves fishing.
Yep.
That's what's up.
So, yeah, so I think that's great. So let's go with trade deadlines coming up. I think on Twitter a lot of people are talking about, hey, I want this guy, I want this guy.
Oh yeah, the rumors are out there.
If you had a trade deadline wish list for this team, now cap is going to be tough. We're up against it. We took a little bit back on restructuring.
I was going to say they've been up there running the numbers, man. They're better than bookies.
Yeah.
So, but I think we also have some movable contracts too that are going to help out the cap space. But cap space aside, just in general, position players. Let's go through kind of our wish list going into the trade deadline. Who would that be for you?
I got a couple ideas, and again, I don't know exactly how it's going to work with cap space, and maybe these are fantasies.
Yeah.
But if I could make my wish list,
Yep.
here's a kind of a random one for you. Mark Andrews, tight end from the Ravens.
Yeah, I think we need depth at the position. Yeah.
Yeah, we could use some depth. We know he's not at his peak anymore. He's a good blocker. He's usually got pretty solid hands unless he's playing the Bills in
Yep.
sub-freezing degrees.
Playoffs are hard, man.
yeah. So I would love to see Mark Andrews. And then, of course, you know, everybody's kind of been talking about this defensive tackle trade maybe we could make. I don't know if either the Jets or the Titans are going to be willing to move these guys between Quinnen Williams and Simmons for the Titans. But man, either one of them would have a huge impact.
So you've said both names that I want.
Yeah.
I want Mark Andrews
Yeah.
because of the stability.
Yeah.
I want Jeffrey Simmons because I want to watch the Titans crumble.
Yes,
On top of the
of
fact that I
course.
want to watch us push the pocket and let Walker and Hines Allen eat.
Yeah.
Those two guys.
He would elevate everybody else on that line.
If you got both of those guys and put them on the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, I believe we're a lock to win our division.
yes.
Oh, 100%.
And
agree.
most likely win at minimum one playoff game, maybe even two.
Yeah.
And put ourselves in a position to get to play for the AFC Championship in
Absolutely.
year one. And you know, if we'd have been able to have that conversation the day we drafted Travis Hunter, we would all be like, you guys are crazy.
Yeah.
We were going to be lucky to win 6 games.
Yeah.
We had Jamal St. Cyr on one of our first episodes, and I think I had them going 11-6.
I'm still in that range.
Some people had them at like 12 wins. Some people had them at 10 wins. Which for me personally, to get them to 11 wins was weird because I was floating on that 8-9, 9-8 the whole time. But I think they still have that in them. Even though they lost last
Absolutely.
week, it didn't look good, and it hasn't looked pretty throughout the rest of the whole season. I think this team was going to turn a corner after LA and actually at LA. Personally,
I'm at that point to where that pretty word, I don't care about being pretty.
Just give me the win.
Exactly.
Like we were clean yesterday and didn't win.
Yeah.
If we'd have played even uglier and won, what would we have been? What would we say right now, other than we're 5-1 and we're in the driver's seat?
Right.
Just
Like
win,
that.
baby. Just
And
win.
so,
Yeah.
you
No matter
know,
how you do it.
I think
those pieces of being pretty, that's a fan thing, man. When you're a coach, whether you win by 50 or you win by 1, it's still a win.
Win the
yeah.
game.
And they don't give out the Lombardi if you don't win by 40. You can win by 1. Ask Tom Brady. That kicker's been pretty good for him.
Yeah. No kidding.
I think for me personally, for the wish list, I think the Jeffrey Simmons is a pipe dream. It would be great.
Oh.
I think he's the number 1.
Yeah.
But the issue with it is there's zero chance. It'd be the stupidest thing Tennessee could do. Now you could say, hey, they're gonna get a big, maybe Gladstone gives them a ton of draft capital to rebuild that organization. They just fired their head coach.
Right.
I think James is it James Franklin?
No, that's the Penn State coach.
No, well he just got fired
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Yes, he did.
I think he's gonna take that job in Tennessee.
You think
wow.
so?
Yeah.
I'd be impressed.
But anyways, I would say Jeffrey Simmons would probably be number 1, but I don't think it's realistic. Quinnen Williams, to me, I think is the most realistic if you can make the numbers work.
Yeah. So
Right.
I think both teams, when you look at the Titans and the Jets right now, the Jets have a brand new coach. They got a quarterback that they're probably not going to keep. And you've got the Titans who've had the number 1 pick, who the Jaguars stole the spotlight from on draft night. I don't care what anybody says.
That's true.
Nobody has talked about Cam Ward other than him, having his.
He's not playing that great
He's
right now
the
either.
one. Well, he's had some moments.
But
He's probably the one highlight on that team.
100%.
Yeah.
And so all of those guys are now expendable because they don't have enough pieces around that guy to go and win 5 or 6 games right now.
But in your division,
That's the piece where I
Yeah.
think they're gonna bow up. But
Yeah.
Simmons' contract, what is it? What's it going
They
to
should
cost?
move him regardless.
There you go. Because
Yeah.
what it does is it allows them to reset. It allows them to do something with their salary cap that they haven't been able to do. Then you look at the Jets. They're sellers, man. They're bad right now.
It's
Their coach is
sad.
eliminating some bad habits, doing some stuff.
Crazy.
I was on the Aaron Glenn train for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I wanted Aaron Glenn because I felt like it would have been quicker to fix our defense. And some of the guys that were talking about being on his staff, I felt like that the offensive personnel would be good for Trevor. It worked out best for both worlds.
Yeah.
Aaron's dealing with his own mess in
Yeah.
New York.
He sure
and if we
is.
can get Quinn Williams, man, that just
That'd be a game
that
changer.
makes everything better because it gives us a chance. Not only like he's not as old as Simmons is,
Yeah.
and I don't think he's
Right.
as expensive either. So by this season,
Yeah.
it might be in the future of more people, or his contract is bigger as the years go on.
I do think this though. I felt this even though we had Brenton Strange. I've always said we need a bit more depth at the tight end position.
Absolutely.
For me, and I looked, unfortunately, after I was like, this is the guy we need. What's his numbers again? I went and looked at his contract. Oh, it's great. The numbers makes perfect sense. It's time to move off of him, and we can get him. Was Njoku for Browns, and he got hurt.
He's a
He got
freak.
hurt yesterday.
Yeah, he's a freak.
Oh,
But he's a
man.
freak of nature. I think I
Very
heard
athletic.
it's not super duper serious. He's gonna miss maybe a week or two, maybe. But
Okay.
I think now would be the time to go and pounce and get him, because even once you get him and Brenton Strange back, that's gonna be huge. I think
Absolutely.
wide receiver wise, you have a wealth of guys. You have too many guys, honestly, to get everybody the ball. So you need some other offensive weapon. I think a red zone target like Njoku would be huge.
Yeah, I will never fault us for getting a tight end that can catch touchdowns because
Yeah.
down in the red zone, you've seen the connection with Brenton Strange already with Trevor, over the last couple of years. Having that security blanket down there, having the play action ability, having the ability to run the cut play that they run, man, it's only going to get better for the tight ends here. And you've seen Long already catch touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's played well enough.
Long has been solid.
Yeah.
He's had his moments.
And I was saying this guy's name before the season started, which both on offense as far as the red zone target, but also just the blocking game, which is an underrated thing of where I think we're losing Brenton Strange, is also in the run game.
Yes.
I think maybe we're not running the ball because of Brenton Strange as well. I think if we got somebody like Darnell Washington, maybe
Yeah.
Oh,
from
yeah.
Pittsburgh,
Yeah,
That
'cause
would
they've
be
got
huge for us,
Jonnu
too.
Smith and
Fairmouth,
From-
or
yeah,
Freiermuth.
Freiermuth.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think adding to the deal could only be better for us, especially and our offense wants to run the football. Liam Cohen understands when Travis Etienne's got the ball in his hands, good things happen. So
Yes.
we need to keep giving the cow the bell, and that's part of it.
100%. All right, guys, let's get out on this one. Thoughts on London? We're going to London. Going to go play the Rams.
For what, like the
Liam
63rd
Cohen-
year in a row we're going to London?
Liam Cohen, James Gladstone. Hopefully not revenge game, but something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. We came off a hard loss against Seattle. Disappointing. Need to get right game.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a tough one. What do you guys think? Let's go around the horn here. So prediction. I need a prediction, a score, how the game's going to go, and a player of the game prediction.
I got us winning 24-20. It's going to go down to the wire. We're going to have one of those moments in London like we've had in the past where we're going to complete something in under 3 minutes to go in the game. Trevor's going to be player of the game. He's going to play great. Travis Etienne is going to be the runner-up. He's going to have a big run. He always seems to play well in London.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm real close to you there. I was thinking 27-24 with Cam Little finally kicking us a game winner.
There you go.
Redeeming himself, making us forget any of the misses. The fact that the Rams are probably not going to have Puka,
Yep,
right?
that's big.
That's an impact.
Plus for us.
My concern is that Devontae Adams always has career games against us, man. I'm
He went
afraid he's
all-
going to
I went
run circles around us.
I went to that Jets game.
Yeah.
He is unbelievable.
Oh my God, walking into the end
The
zone.
rest of the season, he had like 6 catches
Yeah.
against the Jags. He had
But then the
25,
Jags- yeah.
300 yards.
It's insane.
Him
So-
and Jake Browning against the Jaguars.
Yeah,
It's
what
like,
is-
Don't ever let them on the same
Yeah,
team against
exactly.
us.
God forbid they go to play for the
They'll
Titans
set
or some
NFL
shit.
records.
Yeah. So I think first half, I think we're going to see kind of like some stalemates,
Yeah.
right? Where it's going to be like slow-moving defensive battle. I think Jared Burse is going to be a fucking force to be reckoned with.
yeah.
Hopefully, Josh Allen and
Great
Trayvon
player.
Walker are the same thing, and they wreak havoc. I think at halftime, both teams kind of talk about what's going on. We come out. both teams put up a few touchdowns, and as long as we wind up with the ball last and we can kick that game-winning field goal, that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm shooting for. We know they're a high-powered offense. I think that's a best-case scenario for us.
I'll take it. Where do I sign up for that?
Yeah.
I love the Rams. I
They're a
really
good
do.
team.
I really do. And
Very
I love
good
Matt
team.
Stafford. I love McVay. So them losing Puka is a huge
It is.
huge loss.
He does a lot for them.
And it's another tough win. I think they're gonna play well enough to win. I don't think, we talked about playing pretty. I don't think it's gonna be
not
a
gonna be
pretty
pretty.
game again.
Not going to be pretty.
I think
It's good for us.
I think the good news is I think the defense is going to get back to kind of turning the ball over, taking the ball away.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm
I
hoping.
do think we're going to be able to run the ball a little bit better than we did the last 2 weeks. I think ETN's going to have a big game. That's going to be my player of the game. And I think we're going to win 21-19.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really a defensive battle towards, like, you might not see somebody score, until the last second
You
of the
can pretty
fourth
much
quarter.
bank on that first half being ugly.
Yeah.
That little jet lag.
Yeah.
Little
For both
pond,
teams.
They went there
little pond
early.
water.
They went there early,
Yeah,
so
they left
hopefully that
today. The
helps.
Jags left today.
Yeah, so hopefully that helps. But I appreciate you, boys. I think it was a great first episode of the
man.
Prowler Hour.
Loved it.
So we'll be here every Monday recapping Jags games. Next week we are going to be here talking about the Rams. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, and go Jags.
Go Jags.
Go Jags.
Duval. I gotta get all the way over here to turn this thing
Shout
off.
out to Coach.
Good job, boys.
Hell yeah.
I like the new this little setup over here. It's not
Yeah,
bad.
this is awesome.